Hello everyone, and welcome to this brand new FastAPI course. If you've ever wanted to build fast, modern, and professional backend APIs using Python, then you're in the right place. In this playlist, we'll start from the fundamentals and gradually build the skills needed to create real-world APIs used in web applications, mobile apps, SaaS platforms, and many other projects. This course is designed to be both practical and theoretical. We'll not only write code together, but also take the time to understand the concepts behind that code. Before writing our first line of code, it's important to understand what FastAPI actually is and why it has become one of the most popular frameworks for API development in Python. Over the past few years, FastAPI has been adopted by developers ranging from freelancers and startups to large companies because it combines simplicity, excellent performance, and a modern development experience. One of the biggest advantages of FastAPI is that it lets developers focus on building applications instead of writing repetitive code. Features such as automatic request validation, interactive API documentation, and strong integration with Python's type hints are available right out of the box. Of course, these concepts may seem unfamiliar if you're seeing FastAPI for the first time, but don't worry. Everything will become much clearer as we explore the framework step by step. So with that introduction out of the way, let's start by answering a simple question. What exactly is FastAPI? FastAPI is a modern Python framework for building APIs. To understand FastAPI, we first need to understand what a framework is. A framework is a collection of tools, libraries, and predefined components that help developers build applications more efficiently. Imagine you want to build a house. Instead of making every brick, every window, and every door from scratch, you use ready-made materials and focus on designing the house itself. A framework works in a similar way. Instead of writing everything from the beginning, such as routing, handling requests, generating responses, or managing errors, the framework already provides these features. This allows developers to spend more time building the application's functionality instead of reinventing common features. FastAPI is a modern web framework built specifically for creating APIs with Python. It was created by Sebastián Ramírez and released in 2018. Since then, it has become one of the most popular choices for backend development because it combines excellent performance with a clean and simple programming style. Whether you're building the backend for a website, a mobile application, an AI service, or a SaaS platform, FastAPI provides the tools needed to create reliable and scalable APIs. Now that we know what FastAPI is, the next question is, why should you choose FastAPI over the many other frameworks available today? There are several reasons, but I'd like to focus on 4 of the most important ones. The first reason is performance. FastAPI is one of the fastest Python web frameworks available. Thanks to technologies such as ASGI and Starlet, it delivers excellent performance and can even compete with frameworks written in traditionally faster languages for many types of applications. The second reason is automatic data validation. FastAPI uses a powerful library called Pydantic to validate incoming data automatically. Instead of writing validation logic manually, FastAPI checks that the data matches the expected format before your endpoint function is executed. This helps prevent many common errors and makes your code more reliable. The third reason is automatic API documentation. This is one of FastAPI's most impressive features. As soon as you create your API, FastAPI automatically generates interactive documentation that allows you to explore and test your endpoints directly from your browser. Later in this video, you'll see this in action without writing any additional code. And the fourth reason is the developer experience. Because FastAPI is built around Python's type hints, modern code editors can provide excellent auto-completion, better error detection, and more intelligent suggestions while you're writing code. This makes development faster, improves readability, and helps reduce mistakes. These features are just the beginning. As we continue through the course, you'll see why FastAPI has become one of the most popular choices for building modern APIs with Python. At this point, you might be wondering whether FastAPI is only popular among individual developers, or if it's also used in real production environments. The answer is yes. FastAPI has been adopted by many companies for a variety of backend services, internal tools, automation systems, and machine learning applications. Companies such as Uber, Netflix, Cisco, and Microsoft have used FastAPI in different projects where high performance, reliability, and rapid development are important. Of course, these companies use many different technologies depending on their needs, but the fact that FastAPI is trusted in production by organizations of this scale demonstrates that it is much more than a learning framework or a personal project tool. Today, FastAPI is widely used by freelancers, startups, growing businesses, and large enterprises to build modern APIs that are fast, reliable, and easy to maintain. It's always helpful to compare a new framework with others you may already know. In the Python ecosystem, the three most popular frameworks are Flask, Django, and FastAPI, and each one is designed with a different goal in mind. Let's compare them feature by feature. First, their primary focus. Flask is a lightweight framework that can be used to build both web applications and APIs. Django is a full-stack framework that includes many built-in features for developing complete web applications. FastAPI is designed primarily for building modern APIs. Asynchronous programming. All three frameworks support asynchronous code today, but FastAPI was built with async support from the beginning, making it a natural choice for high-performance API development. Now, data validation. In Flask, developers usually write validation manually or rely on external libraries. In Django, validation is typically handled through forms or serializers. In FastAPI, validation is automatic thanks to Pydantic, which checks incoming data before your code is executed. Another important feature is API documentation. With Flask and Django, interactive API documentation usually requires additional packages and configuration, whereas FastAPI automatically generates complete interactive documentation directly from your code. Finally, let's talk about the learning curve. Flask is generally easy to start with because it provides only the essentials. Django takes longer to learn because of its rich ecosystem and many built-in features. FastAPI offers a good balance by remaining simple for Python developers while providing many advanced capabilities out of the box. As you can see, none of these frameworks is universally better than the others. Each one excels in different scenarios. The best choice depends on the requirements of your project, and for building modern, high-performance REST APIs, FastAPI is an excellent choice. Now, let's install FastAPI, and I'll show you how to do it. First of all, create a folder. Let's name it First Project, and then open it in Visual Studio Code. In this course, we'll use Visual Studio Code as our text editor. If you don't have Visual Studio Code installed, you can go to the official Visual Studio Code website and install it. It's very simple. You can also use any other text editor. It's not required to use Visual Studio Code. After that, click on Terminal in the top menu, then click New Terminal. Now, the first thing we need to do is check whether Python is installed on your machine. Type Python-version. If Python is installed, you'll see the installed version displayed in the terminal. If it's not installed, simply go to the official Python website and install it. During the installation, make sure to check the Add Python to Path option. This automatically adds Python to your system's environment variables, allowing you to run the Python command from any terminal or command prompt without any additional configuration. Now, of course, after installing Python, you can run the following command again to make sure Python has been installed successfully. After that, we have two options for working with FastAPI. We can either use a virtual environment or install FastAPI globally on the system. A Python virtual environment is an isolated environment for a specific project. It allows each project to have its own Python packages and dependencies without affecting other projects. This helps avoid version conflicts between projects and keeps your development environment clean. Alternatively, you can install FastAPI globally, making it available to all Python projects on your system. However, using a virtual environment is the recommended approach because it provides better isolation and dependency management. Now let's create our virtual environment. Inside your project folder, open the terminal and run python venv venv. Here, venv is the name of our virtual environment. Press Enter. As you can see, a new folder named venv has been created automatically. Inside it, you'll find folders such as include, lib, and scripts. If you can see this folder, it means our virtual environment has been created successfully. After creating our virtual environment, we need to activate it. To activate it, run the following command in the terminal: venv scripts activate. Then press enter. As you can see, after executing this command, venv appears before the terminal path. If you see this, it means that the virtual environment has been activated successfully. What does this mean? It means that any new library or framework we install will be installed only inside this virtual environment and will be available only for this project. Now it's time to install FastAPI. Run the following command: pip install FastAPI Uvicorn. Here, we're also installing Uvicorn. Uvicorn is an ASGI web server that runs our FastAPI application and handles incoming HTTP requests. We'll explain how it works in more detail later in the course. Now, just wait a few seconds until the installation is complete. Now that FastAPI has been installed, let's create our first file to understand how FastAPI works. First, create a Python file named main.py inside the project folder. Now let's write our first example. First, import the FastAPI class from the FastAPI framework. Next, create an instance of our FastAPI application. Now let's create our first endpoint using the app.get decorator. If you're not familiar with Python decorators, don't worry. They are easy to understand. You can take a quick look at Python decorators and then come back to this course. We'll focus on how they're used in FastAPI. Inside the root function, we're simply returning a JSON response containing the message, "Hello, FastAPI." Now let's understand what this code does. First, we import the FastAPI class from the FastAPI framework. Then, we create our FastAPI application by creating an instance of this class. Finally, we define our first endpoint using the @app.get/decorator. This tells FastAPI that whenever a client sends a GET request to the root path, it should execute the root function and return its response. We'll explore all of these concepts in much more detail in the upcoming sections. Now let's run our first FastAPI application. In the terminal, type the following command: uvicorn main app-reload. As we mentioned earlier, Uvicorn is the server that runs our application, while FastAPI is the framework we use to build it. In other words, we build the application with FastAPI, and Uvicorn executes it and serves it to clients. We'll explain these concepts in more detail later. For now, let's just run our first FastAPI application. Press enter. After running the command, you'll see a message similar to this: Uvicorn running on http://7.0.1/8000. Now copy this URL and open it in your web browser. As you can see, the browser displays the following JSON response: message, "Hello, FastAPI." To understand how endpoints work, let's create another one. For example, let's create a login endpoint, using also an app.get decorator with the //login path. Inside it, we can create a simple login function, and this function will also return a simple JSON response that contains a message, "Hello, you are in the login page." Look here, we return a Python dictionary, but FastAPI automatically converts it into JSON because that's how APIs work. Now let's navigate this time to /login. Press enter. As you can see, FastAPI returns the following response: message, "Hello, you are on the login page." Now, there's one more feature I want to show you before we finish: FastAPI's automatic API documentation. Open your browser and go to /docs. As you can see, FastAPI automatically generates interactive API documentation directly from our code. We don't need to create it manually. The documentation lists all the endpoints we've created. Right now, we have two endpoints: the root endpoint and the login endpoint. From this page, you can explore your API, test the endpoints, inspect their responses, and verify that everything is working correctly before integrating your API with other applications. FastAPI also provides another documentation interface. Just go to /redoc. As you can see, this is another automatically generated documentation page. Some developers prefer this layout, so you can use whichever one you like. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll start learning FastAPI in more depth and explore its core concepts step by step. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to help. Also, don't forget to check the video description, where you'll find useful resources and additional materials to help you follow along with the course.